Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do issue number 3 of the, let's say, controversial comic called Seven Sons by Image Comics, made by Robin Wyndham, Kelvin Mao, and JAE LEE. So yeah, let's dive in and we talk about that. We go back first to 1988 in Seoul, Korea, and there's an Olympic tournament, and one of the chosen ones is, participating, and his brother gives us some tips how to win because he fails first, so he has now a second chance. And then he says hit the apex on the board for more lift. So he concentrates, he walks, and he does it perfect, whatever it is he does, and he wins this round. And then we go back to, I'm not sure the present, but let's say 1998 in New Canaan. So in the last issue, and it's been a while that we just talked about this concept and this comic in general. There's only 3 left. The rest has been killed, murdered, died. So from the Seven Sons, there's only 3, but there's now only 2. So in the last issue, Ep, that's one of these sons, has been killed by, let's say, according to them, religious zealots, other religious zealots from a certain community. And then we see some kind of blood pouring down on the statue of that person who died. Some kind of, ritual, I guess. And so this guy says, I believe his name is Nicholas. They're gonna pay for that, of course, but it's all, religious is, the religion and the book of Seven Sons has taken over the world, and other religion has been, not sure eliminated, but this religion is now on top of every other religion. And so there's only 2 left. Pergy and Delph, and so we see Delph here looking at the television while his brother makes a little bit, crude joke about the passing of Ep, and then he says, I'm sorry, I'm just skipping a little bit. He says, deliver it as it. Now, I'm saying this all wrong. Let me rephrase that. I need to collect myself. But it seems that Nicholas, that's this white-haired guy, is in talking with the Joint Chief to discuss a partnership. And also the military. We're going to stamp out Alice Watchmen once and for all. Because Alice Watchmen is killing them. Because of reasons we don't know yet. And so Delph goes out and he goes into some kind of a room. And I believe this is the room of Ep, of his dead brother, and we see here things that are needed to burn, and those are religious books, I guess, and some going to archive. So he looks at the photos, and he wants to drink about, towards Ep's death, but then he finds out there's some kind of a message in the bottle, I guess, or papers, and he finds out there's a visa for traveling to Lebanon. And what does it say? I cannot see very well. And it says Richard Antipas. Now I have to look very closely. I'm sorry for. Permission is hereby granted by Richard Antipas. Now Richard Antipas also, along with Nicholas, wrote the book of the Seven Sons. Now why he did this, I don't know, but that's the journey for Delph in this comic. So this guy is a bodyguard. He protects all these 7 sons, and his name is Stansted. And he talks to Nicholas about those religious fanatic groups that kills the sons. And there is a coronation very soon. I don't know what the coronation does. I don't know even if the 7 sons has any, divine or religious powers. I just don't know. But what I do know, that religion in this comic meets capitalism. because religion is, well, it's profitable, just like war is, unfortunately. So Delph takes more look at what's going on in the papers, and he sees 7 cities, and he finds a key to Union Plaza. And then one of his helpers, who is blind, comes in, and he says, "Not hungry, Lord Delph. I was just thinking about Ebb. Do not blame yourself. He was foolish to leave the safety of the palace so often. You knew? I hear many things inside these walls. Please do not follow the Lord Ebb's impetuous footsteps. Ebb died while opening my eyes to a larger world. Please tell me, Courtyard," that's his name. I know only that he decided to descend into the lower levels and return smelling of diesel fuel. What is it you hope to find, Lord? I do not know. So he goes down and he finds some secret area or passage, and he finds a bag, and in the bag is a wig, a hat, and glasses. Well, this guy, I forgot his name. Let me double check. I forget. We're coming back to that later. I just said it a minute ago. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with my brain? So he goes out disguised, and he wants to go to the plaza. He goes there, he finds the key, or he uses the key, and he opens, I don't know, something. Papers to the USA, I guess. And but then he was been found out by Stansted, and so he reports in, and then they are getting attacked by these religious fanatics that wants to, probably followed Delph also. And but then there's a young girl, screaming for help, and she lost his mama, and then her mama. So Delph takes action, and he actually breaks free of this group of people that try to protect him, and then he saves the girl, and then he escapes too, because these people are fighting with each other, and he's free. So he sees a bus with, I don't know, people that he can get away, and then remembers what one of his brothers said to him, and they say, "Hit the apex of the board." And he does that exactly. He does a perfect somersault. Is that how you call it? And he goes into the truck or this bus, but he comes down very hard, and he is losing his consciousness. Well, what's his name? This is crazy. Let me go real quick. Stansted reports to Nicholas, and he says, "Hey, we lost Delph." And so he says, "Well, don't say anything to the media. We're gonna handle it ourselves, and put guards on Purgy around the clock." So Delph comes to, and there is a group of people around him, and they say to, "Hey, how are you feeling? You had your head pretty good." "Where am I?" "About halfway to San Francisco." "I'm Sophia." And he says, but he wants to use his name. He says, "You don't have to give us your name, but a young man should be careful carrying so much cash. Are you a religious refugee?" He says, "No." "Don't be afraid. Many of us are. I taught Muslim studies at Berkeley before. Well, work's been tough to find since the 7 arrived. We had to pick strawberries in Salinas." So they are just, work for pay to survive, I guess. And then we're getting a little bit introduced to another set of characters. Mark here was a Mormon bishop before his church converted. And Leanne was a Buddhist nun before the ministry turned her temple into a JAE orphanage. And then Delph says, "But none 7 beliefs remained legal." So Sophia says, "It's little use if no one attends your classes, or your fashioners have all converted. So you do not believe the 7 have helped this world? We live in an era of global peace." They got a great marketing machine, says Mark. Faith is belief in something greater than the mundane. We may be safer, but humanity's vision has grown pale and stagnant. Diversity is an immutable human quality that drives change and progress. I'm sorry, I'm lecturing. I love this sentence. She noticed. So Delph says, I appreciate you giving me so much to contemplate. And then, she's going to have a prayer, and he is looking for his bags. And then he finds a paper of Stanford. And also that, the book of 7 has been written by Nicholas and Richard, what's it said? Multipass or Antipass. So he's looking for Richard Antipass, for the reason that, there was papers for his brother, for going into other countries, to escape, basically. So then this, ex-nun says to him, you may still give your library, this may still give you library access. Because he says, I need to do some research. But you should wear a disguise, Delph, so she knows who he is. And so they are praying together, all of them. They go their own way. So he goes into a library, and he goes down. And he says, hey, do you have computer records back to the 60s? So it's in the basement archives, but he cannot get in. So he breaks in, and he finds nothing. And he doesn't know what to do. And he says, oh, Father, have I been led astray? And then he sees this. I cannot barely read it. Septina. And then he sees the reflection. Why is that so familiar? Septina, Antipass. So it's reversed. So he goes, finds out where Antipass or, the other guys live. And so there's a guy here, and he says, well, you can figure it out what's going to happen, right? It's pretty predictable from here on. He says, I'm looking for a customer. You printed a thesis in 1965. What's the name? Antipass. Richard Antipass. You with the government? He says, no. But before he can do anything, okay, this is happening. You best leave while you can. And that leads us to the next issue, and to this one that I have also. So yeah, I knew a little bit, so this is a preview from Flaw that also I have. I knew this would be a slow burn, I believe. There's not much action or going on, but it's more, I believe, I'm very intrigued about where this is going, because comics about religions taking over, I haven't read anything like this. Doesn't mean it's good, but it makes me feel curious to read the next issue and the next issue maybe, and to see where this is going. So for now I cannot say if it's good, but it's definitely a slow burn. And I want to know what's happened at the coronation. I want to know if the 7 sons are maybe, the thing that people are waiting for their whole lives, or for generations, and for centuries. I'm not a religion person myself, but I'm always intrigued about the facets of religion. But yeah, we'll see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.